Welcome to Move, Metabolic Optimization via Exercise. This isn't just about workouts. It's about moving your body, moving your habits, and moving your life forward. Each episode builds consistency, strength, and resilience step by step. I'm Dr. Dwain Woode, and together we're writing the story of health, transformation, and limitless living. This is Move. Let's get started. Hey guys, it's Dr. Dwain Woode. Welcome back to Move, Metabolic Optimization via Exercise. Thank you for coming through for another episode. I am on the campus of Oakwood University. This is where I went to school, and you guys have seen me do several episodes from here when we did our 100-day walk to consistency. That's the campus behind me, right there. And on this side in front of me, and let's keep turning. Let's see, right on this side, this is the church. So the school is on one side, the church is on the other side, and several things down here. And that's actually is a great place for us to have a conversation. The conversation is about getting back up after setbacks. On this campus, there were lots of things that happened to me, lots of things that happened in my life. This is where I stopped being that young kid that left Brooklyn and began growing into an adult. And so I spent several years here. While I was here, I changed my major, picked up another major, and eventually graduated. So I was here, I graduated with a degree in math, a degree in computer science. Actually started out with, in another department, actually the department that's right over to my left, and ended up, so I started over here, right? So this is the religion and theology department over here on this side. Okay, that's where I started, and I ended up on this side in math and computer science. So both the math department and the computer science department, they're housed in the same place, so this on the other side. And I remember taking a class, and the building is actually now over here, right? So the business department is behind me, right? And so the perfect place. And so I remember taking an accounting class. And so for those of you out there who are accountants, I'm sorry. So I was taking an accounting class because I was advised to pick up a second major. And so I went into accounting, and I was sitting there on the first or second day, and they gave me this thick book, and they were telling me about balance sheets and the T-balance and this side on that. I don't even know what they were telling me at the time. And y'all, I got up and I left, and I never went back to that class. Never went back to the class. And I moved on, and the reason I thought it was a good opportunity to talk to you, because I'm standing right here between three other departments where I took classes: theology, math and computer science, and business. And I want to talk to you about getting back up after setbacks. Now, when I took my accounting class, that was early on in my school career. I think it was probably the first semester, first quarter. We had quarters back then. First quarter, and it was one of those introductory classes. And I sat in the class, and I was like, no, this is not going to work, and left. And then I went into these other two departments. Started out in theology and ended up in math and computer science. And the reason that's significant is that when I got into computer science and math, it was the thing that fit well where I was at the time. And so there were a lot of things that I got into in math and computer science that frankly were a lot tougher than the thing I was doing over there in the business department. But because what I was doing over here was aligned more with me, I stuck it out. And that's the first key to getting back up after a setback. It is, are the things you're doing, the places you want to go, and the thing you're doing at the time, is it aligned with you and who you want to be? Because if it's not, every time you try to do it, it's a chore. Now, this is not to say that there aren't going to be things that you're going to have to get through. Like, there are some classes I took, even though I graduated math and computer science, there are some classes I took that really were not me, but I had to get through those classes in order to get that degree. And because I wanted the degree, then it made sense that I would endure the things I had to endure to get there. Okay, so I want to make that point to you. So first, are the things that you're doing, the things you're going after, are they you? Are they the things that are aligned with who you are? All right, we talk about rhythm. Are they the things that are consistent with you as a person and with your goals? Because if they are, then even when you have to do things that are challenging, then it becomes a path to somewhere else. So I know I'm not staying here. I know that I'm going somewhere else. So this right now is just something I got to get through. It's something that I have to do. And while I'm here, I may even learn something in order to get to the place that I want to go. So first of all, is it aligned with you? Because if it's not, when you get off track, then it's going to be tough to get back on track. It's going to be tough to get back up, because your brain is going to say, well, we don't want to do that anyway. So what's the point of pushing through? What's the point of getting back up and doing the things that people are telling me? Okay? That's the first thing. Number two is to understand that you are going to have setbacks. You are going to get off track. When I was in medical school, I had some challenges in medical school. And I had to really pull on all the resources that were around me to get through medical school. Because I did not expect to have those challenges. And because I didn't expect them, I didn't have a system in place that would help me get back to where I needed to go. And so the second point is to expect that you are going to get off track. There are going to be setbacks. Life is going to function the way life functions. And in life, there are turns, there are detours, there are humps, there are bumps. And if there is no thought that, hey, this can't happen, then what happens is we end up in a tailspin. And it may take us a long time to get out of that tailspin. And for some people, it takes years to get back up. And so we don't want that to be the case. This is not about, oh, this is not my alignment. That's not what we're saying, right? This is what you're going to do. This is the thing that you should be doing. This is the goal that you have. This is aligned with you. We've already settled that idea. This is, you're going to, even when it's something that you want to do, something that's aligned with you, something that's totally congruent with who you want to be, there are going to be times you're going to get off track. And so you have to understand that you are going to get off track and to have a plan. What is the plan? What is going to be my thing for saying, okay, let's get back on, okay? It took me a long time to kind of come out of my tailspin. In fact, it took several years for me to come out of my tailspin. And fortunately for me, there were people around me that saw in me things that at the time I couldn't see for myself. And so in this plan that you're coming up with to get back on track, the very first step is to build a community. Build a community around, so that the community will catch you. The community will push you. The community will do for you sometimes the things that you sometimes can't do for yourself. Because were it not for community, I'll tell you, I would not be where I am at this moment if it weren't for community. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're putting community. First of all, expect that you're going to be off track. Next, you want to put a community around you that's consistent, that's going to be supportive and take you where you need to go. And then a point that we often forget. If we are not taking care of ourselves, then it doesn't matter anything, whether we're aligned, whether there's community, then we don't have the capacity to go in the direction that we need to go. We don't have the capacity to absorb anything that happens because we're spent, we're exhausted, we're empty. And if you are empty, it's kind of like being on the edge of a cliff. If you're at the edge of a cliff and you're teetering, right? It doesn't take much to push you over. I want you to listen to that. It doesn't take much to get you over on the other side. Any strong breeze, any strong wind, a feather, a leaf that blows and lands on you is powerful enough to push you because you're already teetering. And when we don't take care of ourselves, then that is where we are. We're standing on the edge of that cliff, and any shift, any change in our calendar, any change in our schedule, any lifing, right? And that's what we say, life is happening, life is lifing. Anything that happens pushes us over. But it wasn't that we weren't supposed to be there. It wasn't that we don't have the capacity or the know-how. It's not even that we don't have the ambition or the drive or the capability. It's that we're just spent. We don't have what it takes to absorb anything that comes. So you've got to be taking care of yourself. You've got to take care of your mind. You've got to take care of your body. You've got to take care of your spirit. And all of those things come into play if we're going to be successful. If we're going to go into the space, if we're going to do the things that we say we want to do, yeah, it can't be happenstance. So we've got to take care of us. And remember, our goal is to improve our lives and to be successful in whatever area you are. So you might be in business. You might be, something in your family. There's relationships. There's a spouse. There's something that you've got to do. And if we're going to be successful in those spaces, then part of it is taking care of ourselves, right? So are we aligned? Is our rhythm? Do we know what we're doing? Are the things that we're doing, are they consistent with where we want to go, right? Do you know where you're supposed to be? Expect that you're going to get off track. It's going to happen, and you got to put some things in place. One of the primary things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're putting a community together that supports you. And then, are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of your body, your mind, and taking care of your spirit? All of those are essential components to your success. So it's not about being selfish sometimes. It's not about, I am being antisocial. It's about, okay, I need to get some sleep. I can't kick it with y'all right now, right? I can't commit to doing that thing anymore right now. I have to go and take care of me. And for those of us who are out there who are caretakers, those of us who are like the responsible ones in our family, that you're in a tough pot. You're in a tough spot, right? Because in your mind, you think, well, I can't not take care of them. I can't not do whatever it is that you're doing. But I want you to consider something. And this is not an easy question, okay? So don't let me convince you that this is an easy question or think that I'm taking this lightly. Consider this. What happens to the people that you're taking care of, that you're the caretaker of, you're the primary caretaker, and you can't ever take any time for yourself? What happens to them if you get sick because you're not taking care of yourself? Who takes care of them then? So are you really being of service to them by not taking care of you? Right? I would propose that no, you're actually not being a good service to them. You're not being a good steward of you, which is the resource that they're relying on, because you're not taking care of that resource. The most valuable things that we own, the most valuable possessions are our time and our health. Time and health. And if we are not doing the best with those, we're squandering and we're not using that resource appropriately. Okay? Like I said, that's not an easy question. And you're going to have to ponder that. You're going to have to sit with that sometimes and figure out what's the best way to answer that question for your situation. But it has to be answered, because if you don't answer it, you're always going to be in the position where when things happen, it pushes you off course, and it's going to be hard for you to rebound, for you to rebuild, for you to get back your momentum. So you've got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as best as you can. And when you do that, then you are being responsible for yourself, and you're being responsible in how you handle your life. Okay? All right. And so here are a couple of things that I want you to remember. Right? Number one, momentum is equal to motion plus meaning plus mindset. Momentum is equal to motion plus meaning plus mindset. So you have to be in motion. Move, right? Metabolic optimization via exercise. If you're standing still, that's not a good spot. You may not know where to go, but you know you can't stay where you are. And so what are you doing? What are you doing to get out of that position? You got to be moving, right? Momentum is equal to motion. So you got to be moving. Meaning, that's the rhythm that we talked about. What is your purpose? What is your goal? Who are you at your core? What are you about? Okay, so meaning. What is your meaning? What is the thing that you're supposed to be doing? And is what you're shooting for, is it consistent with that? And then mindset. The lenses through which we see the world have a profound impact on how we will function and the successes that we have. Okay? The lenses. If we're not doing a good job of managing our mindset, then we're seeing through cloudy, dark glasses, and that is not what we want to be doing. Okay? So that's your momentum. The next point I want you to get is the longer you stay where you are, the more comfortable you become, the easier it is to stay there, and it's the harder it is to get momentum back. It's kind of like a car that gets stuck, right? When that car first gets stuck and you start pushing, right, that's the best time to get it out. But once it stays there and the wheels begin to sink and the mud begins to dry, right, or the snow falls more, then it gets harder. And so being in that spot, being in that space where you are, the longer you stay there, the more challenging, more difficult it is to get out of the spot. And then psychology of our mind, right? The psychology of our mind says that in 10 minutes, even in 10 minutes, if we move for 10 minutes, we can redirect our thoughts. If we move for 10 minutes, we can redirect our thoughts. And it is move a muscle, change a thought. And you may have heard me say that before here on this series. If we move a muscle, change a thought. So if you stay where you are, back to this momentum, back to this movement, right, if you stay where you are, then it's tough. But if you get up and you start moving around, then you can change your mind. You can change your attitudes, you can change your behavior, you can change your outlook, you can change your mindset. So our goal is, let's get up, let's move. Let's get up, let's move. Let's do some things that will set us up for success. So how do we rebuild? That's it right there. Make sure that we have a rhythm, and the rhythm is the course, the thing that you're about. Make sure that we understand that, we're going to get off track. And we've got to make a plan for that and understand that we've got to take care of ourselves. Those are the big ideas. And all the others fall under that. Okay? So here's a tool. Here's what I want you to try. And this is an exercise one. Ready? Here we go. Number one. And this is a 3-day momentum plan. So whatever's going on. So on day one, I want you to walk for 10 minutes. Movement. Move a muscle, change a thought. You're going to walk for 10 minutes. Okay? Walk for 10 minutes. Put on one of the videos that we're doing right now and start walking. Day one. Number two, on day two, you're going to repeat that and you're going to add some stretching. So now what you're doing is you're adding some, you got some movement there. You've got some momentum going. And then that's day number two. And day number three, you're gonna start tracking some of the wins. You're gonna track your change of thought. You're gonna track how long you can walk, right? Because you may walk longer because you're like, oh man, this feels good. What's your thought process like? What's going on in your mind at the time? All right, so number one, 10-minute walking, day one. Number two, we're gonna walk and we're gonna start stretching. Number three, on day three, we're gonna start tracking those wins that we're getting as we're moving in that space, okay? So momentum isn't lost. It's rebuilt one restart at a time. The reason that people don't succeed is not because they lost momentum, but it's because they didn't rebuild. They didn't go through the process of doing what it takes to get going again. And that's not us. That's not what we're doing. We are not staying where we are. We don't know, we may not know where we're going. We may not know where we're going, but we know we can't stay in this spot. But we have a clear direction, though, right? We've been talking about it. So what's your goal? Our goal is to be as healthy as possible and to be around as long as possible. That's what we're doing. That is everything that we're doing. And we're going to be successful. So I love the fact that we just come to get the chance to walk and talk. And we'll come back and we'll do more as you join me and as we get to know each other, you get to know me. And go ahead and drop in the comments what successes you're having. Right? What are some of the things that are happening in your life that you're having some benefit because you've been walking and you've been spending some time to move? Hey man, guys and gals, I'm glad that you're here. Glad I get a chance to hang out with you. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. I look forward to seeing you on another episode of Metabolic Optimization via exercise. We'll see you in the next episode of Move. All right, bye-bye. Thank you for being a part of Move today. Remember, transformation isn't built in hype. It's built in consistent steps. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. Keep showing up, keep stacking your wins, and keep moving forward with us. This is Move.